Sometimes we need to compare values in program, and based on that comparison we need to show some outputs to our user and come to a conclusion or a result. In that case we can actually use the if statement. For example, let's have a variable like called double or number, whatever you like, or maybe final temperature temp, and that is, for example, 29.4. And now based on this temperature value we want to show our user the condition or the status of the our weather. For example, very cold, very hot, normal, etc. So if we set some parameters like if the temperature is less than 18, then we'll say cold or very cold, and if the temperature is between 24 or 23 and 27, then we'll say the temperature is normal. And if I say the temperature is greater than or between 27 and 33, it is hot. And the temperature, if the temperature is greater than 33, then it will be very, very hot. So we have just one value. Right now we have to check this value with other values, and for that we had to use the if condition, if statement, and also we need to use some logical operators. And let's just set the parameters. Let me just put some parameters in comment. For example, if this is just for the note and the reference, if the temperature is temp is less than, for example, 10, then the output will be very, very cold. Okay. And then if the temperature is actually greater than 10, greater than or equals 10, and or maybe we say that 10 between 10 and 18, 10 and 18, then the output will be cold. Okay. And then if the temperature between 18 or 19 and maybe 24, the temperature is normal. And also temperature between like 25 and 30, that will be, I don't know, that can be hot. And if it is greater than, if it is temperature, if it is greater than maybe greater than 30, this is very hot. So if we want to show our user this cold, normal, very that will be actually very hot. Okay. So now if we want to show our user this status based on this temperature value, we can actually use the if statement, and it is very easy to use. All you have to do is just type if and the bracket, and now we have to check the condition or provide the condition over here. So the first condition would be to check this temp variable whether it is less than 10 or not. So we say if temp is less than 10, then this will be the if block, and this block will be executed if and only if this condition is true. So this, if this temperature is less than 10, then simply we print for example, very cold. Okay. And if I keep it like that, just let's not just provide the other conditions. If I now run this application, you will see that this condition will be false, and we see actually nothing because we didn't provide enough information to Dart what will happen or what should it print when this condition is false, because this block will only be executed whenever this condition is true. For example, if the temperature is 9.4, and now this will be true, and this statement will be printed on the console just like that. So we have to handle the other situation. For example, if this is false, then what should we do? And that's why we have another block called else block, and then provide the else block and print something else. Okay, so maybe not very cold or something like that. So now let's turn our temperature to 29.4, and if I now run this application, we know that this 29.4 is greater than 10, and this will be false, and so that this will be printed. So this is the if and else block and if else statement, and the important thing is only one block is executed, either the if block or the else block. There is no way that these two blocks will be executed simultaneously or at the same time. So only one block will be executed. Now let's focus on our problem. If we want to print this status to our user according to this temperature value, then we know that this is not enough. So if this condition is false, then we need to check other conditions or other the ranges also. So rather than providing the else block right now, let's remove this, or let me provide another if block, and this is called the else if block or if else if block. So now after else, I'm providing another if, and now I will check this temperature value whether it is between this range. So I'll say if temp is greater than or equals 10 and this temp is less than or equals 18, then we should print only cold, not very cold, just like that. Sorry, this should be cold. Okay, so now if I run this application, you will see that we will see nothing, because with this current temperature value, neither this condition or this condition will be true, so we will see nothing. So I think you can understand that we have to provide more else if blocks. So let me just copy this and let me paste it over here, and now we need to check another range. That means this 19 and 24. So let's say if temperature is greater than or equals 19 and less than and equals maybe 24, then it should print, say, normal. Okay, normal. And also let's provide another else if. Now let's check this range. So this should be 25 and this should be 30, and now that will be hot. And now we have only one condition or one check left. We need to just check this whether this temperature is greater than 30 or not. And to do that, we don't have to provide another if block, because now we have reached to the last check, and now from here we can only provide the else block. That means for any value of temperature which is greater than 30, or if all these conditions are false, then directly print very hot. So we don't have to provide the if block for the last condition check. And if I now run this application, and our temperature is 29.4, and it is actually between this range, and it should say hot. And if I say it is 33.5 or 4, then it should say very hot. And it is, if it is only 3.4, you will see it will say very cold. So this is the typical if else if or if else or if else statement that we check value or compare value, and based on that comparison we actually show some result to our user or console whatsoever.